welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial. It's on this look right here, a matte brown smoky eye with a matching brown lip. This is by far one of my favorite looks I've done in a while. So if you would like to see how I got this makeup look right here, please keep watching. So I'm going to go ahead and spray some of my Clinique Moisture Surge face spray. I'm actually almost out of this guy. I love this. I will definitely be repurchasing it. For primer, I'm going to bust this guy back out. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I haven't used this in a really long time, so let's see if I still like it. So I'm just going to take 2 pumps. I always like to start like in the center of my face and then just kind of like bring it outwards. Let's see, for foundation, I guess I'll just go ahead and use the Fenty Beauty foundation. It's been a while since I've been able to use this because I had my tan that lasted forever, which I'm not complaining, but it took me forever, it seems like, to get back to like this kind of like fair skin tone. So this is in the shade 170. It's the soft matte foundation. It might actually be a little bit too light, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna do 3 pumps on the back of my hand and take my Morphe sponge. I honestly can't remember how I liked this foundation applied. I don't remember if I liked it with a sponge or a brush, but I think with the sponge it looks okay. I think the shade matches pretty perfect. Did not realize how pale I was. Oh goodness. So I have a little drawer over here on my desk that I have stuff in there that I really need to use up. So I'm going to use the Tarte Maracujá Creaseless Concealer, the one that comes in the squeeze tube. I don't know if you can still get the one in the squeeze tube because I know they repackaged it to the one with the doe foot, but this one's in the shade fairly light neutral. And a little bit of this goes a long way. Like even that little tiny dot right there is going to be too much. But. And then for some reason, whenever I try to blend out my concealer with the sponge, if there is no product on my sponge, because I wash my sponge every time before I use it, it pulls the product off my face. Does that happen to you guys? So I always like to take, because right here, see how I blended out my foundation, so there's product there, but right here I didn't touch. So I always like to take it and like dip it in the concealer first just to get some of that product on the sponge, and then I feel like everything just blends out and it doesn't steal the product from my face. I haven't heard anybody ever complain about that, so I don't know if I'm like, surely I'm not the only one that happens to, but it does. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of cream contouring. I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match Crayon Corrector. This is in the shade Medium Deep. I've had this forever and it's still holding on. These little like concealer crayon things blend out like a dream. Like, I love them. Let's see if I can actually cream contour my nose now without that pimple. The pimple that I had right here, it's been gone. But for some reason, every time I try to contour my nose, it shows back up. It's like not even there anymore. So I always have like a dot right there, but I hope that it's been a while now, so it's finally gone. Oh, and I'm using my Artis Oval 3 brush. This is my favorite brush to blend out lip and nose contour. I think we're finally okay with that dot. I mean, I can see it still. It does not want to go away, but at least it's not as bad as usually. Touch one thing and 5 million things fall over. At least it's not as bad as it has been in my last few videos. For brows, I've been trying to use up my Anastasia Dip Brow because that's another thing I've had forever. This might be my favorite brow pomade. Like, I do like the Anastasia Dip Brow, but I really like this. This is from e.l.f. and it's the Lock-On Liner and Brow Cream. This is in the shade Light Brown. Yes, I have a taupe blonde shade and then the light brown. I like to use the taupe one for pretty much my entire brow. And then if I feel like my tails need to be a little bit darker, I like to go in with the light brown shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this. It's been a while since I've used it. So I'm just going to brush my brows up first. My favorite brow brush still is the Morphe E11. Like, this brush seriously does all the work for you. See how easy that was? I mean, don't get me wrong. I do have like bad brow days for sure, but this brush is just such a lifesaver. So I'm going to take the light brown shade just a tiny bit and I'm going to go in with my Anastasia number 12 brush and then the brush side of it just to darken up my tails. And then I'm just going to brush through them. I also saw too on Twitter that e.l.f. is closing all the e.l.f. stores. And I'm kind of sad about it. I only went to the actual e.l.f. store a couple times, but it was just nice because everything in there was stuff that you could find at Target, Walmart, whatever. But then they also had the stuff that you can only find online too as well in there. So I like the store. I feel like one of the reasons why they're closing is because I feel like all the e.l.f. stores I ever went to were like in like kind of ritzy areas. And I don't know why. I just feel like putting an e.l.f. store in kind of like a rich, wealthy like neighborhood, town, city, whatever, maybe wouldn't get a lot of business. But I feel like if they would have put them in just like, I don't know, medium area, like, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say, areas, I think it would have done better. Now I'm going to use my Essence Make Me Brow in Blondie Brows, and I'm just going to put this through. I like it because it just adds some like highlights into my brows. I've been trying to use this up. I know I need to throw it away, but I'm not going to. I've had this since it launched, I think. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It just doesn't really work for me. I feel like there's like a yellow tint in it. I've never heard anybody else say that, but I'm like convinced that there is, and I feel like it just doesn't look the best on like my light skin tone. But I'm gonna go ahead and use it today. So I'm just using this giant brush that I found at Marshall's, and it's like my favorite powder brush now. So I'm just gonna press that into my skin. I'm gonna stay away though from my under eye because I'm gonna see if I let it sit, if it's supposed to be creaseless, so I'm just gonna leave that alone and then I'll go back and set that. And then I feel like, I mean, I plan on wearing my bangs down, so it's not really that big of a deal, but I feel like that foundation kind of went into my forehead lines. I'm just gonna go lightly over my nose. So to lightly set my under eyes, because I don't think I really need to, but I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. This is another thing I'm trying to get rid of. The Laura Mercier powders, I do plan on ordering like the illuminating one, but as for the translucent one, I feel like that just looks better on like more like medium deeper skin tones, like tan skin. And then the under eye powder, I just don't feel like it's not worth the money to me, I guess. So I'm just gonna go through the brush and just get out the creases on my lid and then lightly pat my under eye. And then this is my Morphe M536 favorite under eye brush. And I'm gonna make sure to really set this eyelid so that way it's ready for eyeshadow. I wasn't really planning on packing all this powder on, but I guess we're doing it now, so. Although, you know, I packed on so much powder, it actually did brighten my under eye. I feel like all the other times I've used this, I've just never used enough and I just never saw a difference. But now that I packed a bunch on, I feel like it really did brighten up my under eye. I guess I'm just gonna use this Lorac Pro palette, another thing I've had forever. And I'm gonna take the light and medium contour shades and just mix them together and use them for a bronzer today. And I'm using my Morphe E3. It's so annoying when the light does that. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit up here. I feel like the last couple times I've bronzed my forehead, it looked horrible. I don't know, it just didn't look very good. I feel like it's because it's really hard to blend on top of these little hairs. So I feel like it makes it look choppy, like muddy. And I really think it's just because these little baby hairs I got just make it to where it doesn't want to blend. So that's all I'm going to do for that. Because I do plan on wearing my bangs down, so it doesn't really matter. And I think I am going to add just a little bit more of the light contour shade. Just because I feel super pale. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of that. For blush, I'm going to use the Balm Frat Boy blush. I love the packaging. It's super cute and it's just kind of like a neutral everyday blush. I'm using my Morphe E4, my favorite blush brush. I'm going to dip in there and just... I love blush. You guys can probably tell because I go completely overboard in my videos, but I can't help it. It's just weird though. It's like I could put on so much blush on camera and I'll be like, when I go back to edit, I'll just be like, oh my god, like you put way too much. But then it's like when I look in my mirrors, like in natural light throughout the rest of my house, it looks fine. So for highlighter, I'm using this. I'm convinced it's a Jaclyn Hill Holiday Becca collection dupe, whatever, because it has the same exact 3 shades. So I'm just gonna take, this one is just like almost like too much. So I think I'm gonna go in with the middle shade. We'll start off with that first and see how that looks. I'm using my Smashbox fan brush. Gonna apply this gold shade all over, and then I'll go back in with the like silver shade and just hit the high points. Okay, then very lightly because it's pigmented. I just dipped into the kind of white silvery shade and I'm just gonna go on top of that. I'm gonna mix the 2 of them over the center of my face. I'm gonna switch to a, why could I never find this brush? It's an inner corner brush from Sigma, I think. For some reason, I can never find it. Here we go. And I'm gonna use this to highlight my nose. So I'm gonna start off with the gold shade first. And then a little bit of the other one, the white shade. See how it's like so pigmented? It's almost like too much. And then I'm going to take my Makeup Academy stippling brush and just blend all of this together. Then I'm going to go back in with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm just going to bake a little bit under my bronzer. So I'm going to dip my sponge in the cap and drag it underneath there. So let's get started on the eyes. I'm going to be using this Colourpop Double Extender, is that how you say it? Eyeshadow palette. I've never used this before. There is no mirror or anything, but these are the shades, and as you can tell by the title of this video, it's a matte brown smoky eye. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I guess I'm just going to go in with, let's try to use as many of the matte shades as possible. So let's go in with this shade right here. It's kind of like a yellowish cream shade. Sorry if you can hear Marsh. And I'm just gonna put that all over my lid. She has been so needy the past couple of days. I don't know what's going on. Needy, lonely, I don't know. But since she's deaf, I can't be like, Marsh, come in here. So, I'm using my Sigma E40, and this eyeshadow kind of seems really powdery. Next, let's try out this shade right here. And I'm just gonna put that in the crease. Actually, I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell if it showed up or not, but it showed up more than I thought it would. Now I'm gonna go in with, ooh, that orange shade's pretty. We'll do that next. I'm gonna go in with this shade right there. Oh, I guess I could be telling you guys the name of these shades. I had no idea. So the first shade I went into all over the lid was called Flasher. Then I went into Nip Slip, and that's what I put directly into the crease. So now I'm gonna go in with the shade next to that, which is called Sin Noodles, I believe. I don't know if I'm reading this backwards or not, but I think it's Sin Noodles, this one down here. I'm gonna put that into the crease. Besides the shadows being like kind of, there's like some kickback, you know, they blend out really nice so far, and I've used 3 shades, so okay. I'm gonna go back in with that shade. Next, I'm gonna go in with this orange shade. So this one right here, it's called Hard, I think. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of that in the crease as well. And then I'm gonna switch brushes. I still can't find my Sigma brush that looks like this, so I need to find that. I really like this IBY brush. I have no idea what it is, but I'm assuming it's like a buffer brush or something, but I really like it. It's super soft. And I'm gonna take this red shade, which I believe is called Extracurricular, and I'm gonna put that into the crease, kind of like more, oh, that is pigmented. And so I'm just gonna focus that into the crease, but like below all those shades, because I need to start working on the lid so I can pack that dark brown shade on there. I feel like I got some lines right there, which is weird. I'm gonna go in with this Morphe R39 in that red shade. Lightly. Okay, there we go. I really like the IBY beauty brush, but it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do just then. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the dark brown shade right here at the bottom. I think it's called Keep It PG, and I'm gonna pack it on with this brush first, the Morphe R39. I'm just gonna pack that in the inner corner first, and then I'll start putting it on the lid. I was thinking I might use my finger. Let's see, let's try this Sigma E55. It's just a flat shader. Let's see if that will work. I'm gonna dip that into that dark brown shade. I'm gonna use my pinky finger. So now I'm gonna take the Morphe R39 in that brown shade and start to work that into the crease. And now I'm gonna go in with the Sigma E40. And I'm gonna buff that into the crease too, because I need to. I'm gonna go in with the red shade, Sigma E40, put that in the crease. There we go. I feel like it just wasn't dark enough. Okay, I think that helps. So now I'm gonna take these two like peachy shades, So I'm gonna take these two peachy shades kind of right here, and they're called Draft and Hard. Woo. Sigma E40. I'm just gonna mix the two. And I'm gonna put those like above the crease, if that makes sense, just because I want a little bit more kind of like orangey up here. And then I'm gonna go in with extra curricular, why can I say that? And my Morphe R39. And I just want that back into the crease as well, because I like that shade. Actually, you know what? Up close, that brown shade doesn't look patchy at all, so it must just because I was looking in that mirror so far away, but up close, this palette is amazing. It's really nice. I'm gonna go back in with this flat shader brush and the dark brown shade. Just gonna place that back on the lid. Sorta, I'm kind of like packing it and then blending it up into the crease. Ooh, I think we're done with that. For, let's see, I think I'm gonna take that one. So I'm gonna take this shade up here. It's called Locked and Loaded. I'm gonna use that for a inner corner and eyebrow highlight. I'm gonna go in with this bottom shade for my inner corner because that other shade just isn't doing it for me though. So now I'm just gonna start on my lower lash line, and I literally just take the same shades that I use there and I just pile them on top of each other. So I'm gonna go in with this Morphe E18. Well, no, not yet actually. I'm gonna use a more pointed pencil brush first. So I'm gonna use the Morphe M431, and the only thing I'm going to skip though is like the cream shades because they don't really do anything. So I'm just going to go in with this shade first, which is called Draft, and then Hard. They're like the peachy shades. And I'm just going to put that on lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with, let's do this shade down here that's called Sin Noodles. Is that what it says? Yeah. Put that on top. And then the red shade that's called Extracurricular. Put that there. And then the dark brown shade, which is called Keep It PG. I always like to take the darkest shade and focus it on the outer corner first, and then I kind of pull it in so that way it's just not over my entire lower lash line. Hopefully that makes sense. Now I'm going to take the Morphe E18 and just blend all those together. And I'm just gonna brush this away too. I'm gonna take matte Costa Riche, and I'm gonna put that in the waterline. And I'm gonna tightline with it too. Then I need to set my face, so I'm gonna use this. What do I want to use? I'll just use this, I guess. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. I like to set my face before I do my mascara and stuff like that. And then just to add like a little bit more dewiness, I'm gonna use the I'm gonna use the Milani Make It Dewy just on my cheeks. If I set my face after I do my eyeshadows, it can make my eyeshadows look kind of like choppy. So I always try to make sure that my eyes are like completely dry. So now I'm just gonna apply a little bit of Rimmel Lash Accelerator. I'm not gonna curl my lashes or anything. I'm gonna apply these Morphe Hollywood Hills lashes. This is what they look like, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply them off camera. All I'm gonna use is, I would say this House of Lashes. I really don't like this, but I need to get rid of it. So I'm gonna use my House of Lashes lash glue, these tweezers from Farrah brushes, I think, even a Boxy Charm, and I'll be right back. I don't really know how I feel about these lashes. I probably should have cut them on the corner. I think if I go to wear them again, I'm definitely gonna have to cut them a little bit on each corner because they're kind of like weighing my eyes down, but they are pretty. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder to my, right here, just so I can apply some lower lash mascara. I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. I actually tried this out in one of my videos, and the one that I had for a while, but I had never tried it. And when I tried it, I thought it was like dried out. So I threw it away and I went to go buy another one, and then this one is the same. So that must just be like the formula, or I just got two duds. It still works though, but it is a super dry formula. As soon as that lower lash mascara is dry, I'm gonna go back in and add a little bit of matte Costa Riche. So for lips, I figured we could do a brown lip. I don't know if I've ever done a brown lip on my channel. So I'm gonna go in with this Essence eye pencil, but it's in the shade Hot Chocolate, and I'm gonna use this as a lip liner. So now I'm going to use the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Naughty by Nature. Isn't this packaging super cute? I've never used this before. I feel like my lips are a little lopsided. So I'm going to take some of this on the back of my hand and use a smaller brush just to kind of like even that out. This is a Morphe MB19. I know you guys are probably like, why are you using only Morphe brushes? But that's because I have monthly Morphe, so. Minus I messed up over there. I feel like the Hot Chocolate eyeliner really goes well with this Too Faced Naughty by Nature brown shade. Minus I need to fix that over there. So I'm just going to take this little tiny concealer brush that I got specifically to either carve out my brows or my lips. This is a Morphe M421. So I'm going to take this. It's a little bit darker than what we used for our under eyes. This is the Flower Beauty concealer in L1-2 Fair. I want something that's not going to be like super bright, even though it might, I don't know, we'll see. Because I don't want to draw a lot of attention to the corner of my mouth that I messed up. So this is the, I need to set my brows. I'm going to use the Model in a Bottle eyebrow sealer. So this is the final makeup look. I like it. It's like chocolate love or something. I'm gonna go change and do my hair and I'll be right back. So I changed and now I'm back wearing this snake bodysuit from Pretty Little Thing and then this black jean jacket I got from Target. Doing a little bit of Baby Spice vibes today, I think, with the hair, or like Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time. I used one of those Lush glitter like lotion bars and my skin is so sensitive I barely touch it and it turns red. And I already waited like 10 minutes and it's still red, so I didn't want to just like keep waiting so I could film, like finish filming. So sorry if it's like distracting. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this matte brown smoky eye tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe on your way out. And please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tutorial. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.